Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to Stop the Idiots. I am the huge one-kid idiot Dave Koco from DAVKOCO.com. We are live on Twitch, KocoSports, archived on YouTube, KocoSports. Koco plays is for the video games, KocoSports is for the sports, and there's no bigger sport than pro wrestling. All right, this comes from Golden Star Alex, the VIP of Stump the Idiots. He's got, Paul Heyman once said, if that ECW didn't go out of business, it would have transformed into what ROH was in its heyday. Do you agree? Boom, boom.
Do I agree? Well, I really can't disagree with him because I don't know. I mean, I don't know what was going on in his head. I don't know what he would have done, provided the ECW stayed in business. I mean, it would have been a long transition because if you look to the way they were in January of 2001 when they did Guilty as Charged, their final pay-per-view, I mean, they were setting up to kind of keep things going. Now, I don't know. I mean, there's really no way to disprove it. I mean, we have to take his word for it. And, I mean, he was, when he got national television, he was losing money. I don't know if that would have, even if that would have helped him. So I guess I really can't say that I believe him or don't believe him. I mean, we just don't know because it just never happened. But if that's what he says he was going to do, then I guess that's what he was going to do.
Me, I'm a Paul Heyman guy. Paul Heyman, I look up to him, respect him, enjoy his product. Mm-hmm. I kind of agree with him more, A, super fan, but B, think about who he brought in. Think about all the great wrestlers. A lot of people put ECW and they remember, the hardcore shit, which is great, but some of the greatest wrestlers of all time passed through there. Lance Storms, Eddie Guerrero's, Chris Jericho's in their prime, Chris Benoit, you know what I mean? So I could see it. I feel like he would have went to ROH ways. The only problem is you got the word extreme in there, so you would have to keep it hardcore, Or maybe he just renames it, you know what I mean? Or, I don't know, I guess extreme could be that. But yeah, I don't know if they would have went all Ring of Honor with the handshakes and all that. But as far as the in-ring product, I believe, CM Punk, Samoa Joe, all those guys would have been huge ECW stars. So that's the thing. And can you imagine if someone supported it besides Paul Heyman, I'm saying corporate-wise, or if the internet was around? That's the big thing. And ROH had the DVD sales. They were really smart, And so, yeah. So to me, I think it was groundbreaking, but it was groundbreaking before you're allowed to be groundbreaking. Does that make sense? Like, channels didn't support it at the time. The internet wasn't where it was going to be. Everything was message boards back then. Can you imagine a streaming service? Yeah, people would have went crazy for it. So I do believe Paul Heyman would have kept making a better product, kept pushing it, and I think he would have had Ring of Honor. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if the Ring of Honor style of wrestling would have been like a group of people, you know what I mean? And then just have it where, because the only thing that I think would stop him from being Ring of Honor is the word extreme, and Paul Heyman could get around that because some of the greatest wrestlers of all time were there, and it's not like everything was hardcore. They had some great matches, So, I want to, multiverse. I want to live in a multiverse where ECW stayed in business a little bit longer for YouTube, Twitch, all that, it would have been interesting. And what if he hooked up with because the thing that supported ROH was the DVD sales. If he could have got with a DVD guy, could have got with a streaming guy, I mean, ECW on WWN, ECW, it would have been absolutely amazing. It really would be, So to me, I think it would have. And now the thing that makes me sad is the younger people watch ECW, they don't realize how great it was, and because everything that was great was stolen and polished, you know? It's kind of like the TV show Lost. People are like, oh, it's not that good of a show. And it's like, no, if you watch television, it changed television forever. And I feel ECW is that way with newer people. ECW is like, oh, it wasn't that great. And it's like, yeah, okay, but this, and 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 this all came from ECW.
Yeah, you've got to look at what was going on at the time.
Yeah, definitely. And if it wasn't for ECW, I don't know about you, Boom Boom, I wouldn't have been a wrestling fan.
I may not have been a wrestling fan for much longer because at that point, when ECW came along, like when it became, Extreme Championship Wrestling, it was 94, 95. And at that point, they had the steroid trial with WWF. WCW was at that point trying to wrangle Hulk Hogan and pull a lot of those old WWF guys over to WCW. This was just, gearing up for what would become the Monday Night Wars. And, the new generation was in full swing, and you had, the Friar Ferguson gimmick, the Mantar gimmick, the Goon and all that, Duke the Dumpster Drosy over in WWF. That's what was going on here in the United States. And then you had ECW all the things that are like standard now, like going back in the dressing room, when Sandman got hurt and all the wrestlers are coming around this, to the side of this, fallen wrestler. That was new for the time. Violence against women, that was new for the time. Putting somebody through a table. I mean, the first time I ever saw that happen was ECW. The language, the use of unlicensed music is for intro themes. That was new. I mean, we'd never seen anything like that. Mature storylines. I mean, hell, the pregnancy storyline got them thrown off of several networks. So, all the stuff that you kind of see that you're like, oh, there was a point where, God, like getting thrown over the top rope was called for a disqualification.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile you had them, and plus, well, not even that, but the fast-paced, aggressive style. Hell, ECW really brought Lucha Libre to the forefront. I mean, yeah, they'd had luchadors, and they'd brought in like Japanese talent before in other promotions, but they had never featured it so prominently. I mean, that was new.
Yeah. So, yeah. He was groundbreaking. At the same time, ROH was a little bit something different, but I could see him changing it and forming it into something like that. And yeah, it's just what could have been. What could have been. Just to read the chat real quick live on Twitch. CM Punk, Samoa Joe, and guys like that might have come to ECW, and they would have been more transformed in style into ROH, maybe. Yeah, I believe so. Paul, the advocate _ Paul Heyman says, rest in peace, Louis Anderson. So many people are dying, man. I think this might be one of the biggest rest in peace streams we've ever had. ECW on Combat TV, that would be a dream come true. Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko had their technical series in ECW. Yeah. Dark Metal Fan, what's going on? WWF had Manitar, WCW had the Dungeon of Doom, ECW had New Jack. One of those things is not like the other. Dark Raven, what's going on, buddy? So yeah, and I just wish either Paul Heyman, because the thing is, to do what Paul Heyman did just wears on you. Physically, mentally, lifestyle, you know what I mean? To run a company with not that much of a budget in pro wrestling is hard. I did it and nowhere near as successful as him. And it's hard. A lot of people don't fucking realize how hard it is. There is easier ways to do it, but then you won't grow to the ECW level, But yeah, it's pretty amazing. Oh my God, someone retweeted us. No, it's Sam Besser. Damn you, Sam. You wrote it in a YouTube video. We love you, Sam. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, overall, to me, it would have been amazing. But yeah, so yeah, I got a little twisted there as soon as the Twitter moved. I was like, what? Oh no. Anyway, boys, I think that's it for YouTube. Booms, do you have anything to say?
No, rest in peace, Meatloaf. Rest in peace, Louis Anderson.
Yep, and also the hockey star from the Islanders. So, man, It's a rough time to be. Rough time. Rough time. Anyway, in the words of Dusty Rhodes, hard times. Hard times. YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and check us out live on Twitch KocoSports. We're also archived on YouTube KocoSports. YouTube and Twitch, they love each other. They're the mega powers. All right. Like, comment, subscribe. Just YouTube. With that, I am